Warning. The following content may contain elements that are not suitable to some audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Hey everyone, it's Amy with the Two Depressed Girls podcast, and I'm here with my co-host April.
Hello there.
Here we fucking go with this episode, man. I have been really torn about doing this episode. On one hand, it's a really important topic that needs more discussion, but on the other hand, I think it's probably going to be one of the hardest episodes we're ever going to record. And the reason I say that is because this is real. This is something that's happening in your local Target and you don't even realize it. Today we're talking about the world of modern slavery, or as it's more commonly known as, human trafficking. I am not thrilled about this episode, but it's something pretty, I don't want to say near and dear to my heart, but I think as a woman, I think it's terrifying to think that at any given moment you could be the victim of human trafficking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Human trafficking is the second largest criminal enterprise in the world. This industry brings over $150 billion. $150 billion. I was blown away by that number. That this literal illegal business, this enterprise, is bringing in that kind of money. Some of the stats on human and sex trafficking globally, they're gross. When I was looking at these stats, I was not thrilled. So a lot of my info is actually from government websites. I'll link all the sources in the description box because I think it's super important that you do your research. But a lot of people that basically get coerced into human trafficking or sex trafficking, 51% of them are people that need money. So they have an economic need for basically being human trafficked. But they don't sell it that way, of course. They sell it as, oh, I'll give you a place to stay, I'll give you money, I'll give you food, you know, drugs, alcohol, whatever. 20% of victims that are sex trafficked are children of dysfunctional families, so runaways, you know, a pimp sees them.
Easy to get them.
Yeah, not that nobody's looking for them, but, you know, they're out there, they got nobody else, they have, in their mind, they have nowhere else to go. Dude, this episode is it's heavy. 13% of them have an intimate partner as a trafficker. So, you know, husband, boyfriend. Could be a girlfriend, too. The people that are doing it, the people that are trapping these people into this, they can be any sex. They can be a man or a woman, which blows my mind. As a woman, I don't think I could ever trap somebody else into that kind of lifestyle.
No.
I'm fucked up in the head, but I'm not that fucked up in the head that I could knowingly and willingly put someone else in danger.
Or just look at a person and see a price tag.
Yeah. That's crazy. That people don't see people, they see money. 10% of victims that are trafficked have mental, behavioral, or neurological disorders. 10% of them, they become trafficked because of their immigration status. 9% of them is children that are deprived of parental care. This is the one that really freaked me out. 3% of them are trafficked because they have a physical disability. When I read that, I was like, what? What do you mean? But, I mean, think about it. If somebody's paralyzed, get run.
Yeah, they're...
Oh, God, dude, this episode is gonna make me sad. I want to give you guys these stats because I think it's really important for you to be shocked and kind of disgusted, to be completely honest. I'm not happy about this. I guess, you know, human trafficking and sex trafficking, it does get some media coverage, but it's something that I think needs to be talked about more often. And you know, it's really uncomfortable and it sucks to talk about, but until we start talking about it and making it an issue, it's never going to change. 90% of the children trafficked in the United States are U.S. citizens, and 50% of trafficking victims are under the age of 16. Now, this stat pissed me off because, one, it's in my area, and two, I just will never look at a man the same. Like, I really don't think I will. 78,000 men in the Phoenix area are online sex ad customers. Over 300 ads for adult services are placed each day in Phoenix, with an estimated 20% for girls under 18. These are just a few of the stats on human and sex trafficking. One, it's appalling how many men just in the Phoenix area are online sex ad customers. Y'all are fucking nasty. And I, honest to God, hope you drop dead. I don't usually say shit like that over the fucking internet, but you are a huge part of the problem, and the other huge part of the problem is the assholes forcing these women, children, and even men into this lifestyle. It's not even a lifestyle, it's straight up slavery. And it's weird because the global report on trafficking, the numbers for sexual exploitation have decreased, but the exploitation for forced labor has increased.
That's weird.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not even so much about sex anymore, it's about free labor. Mm-hmm. Again, it's not funny, but I don't understand how this isn't more talked about. Because this is, people are getting stolen to either work or have sex. That's fucked.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm seeing a stat here that says, you know, sexual exploitation is the most common, of human trafficking at 79%, forced labor at 18%. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that necessarily differs from what you have.
So when was that? Is there a date on that?
2019.
Yeah, so this is for 2020.
Okay. Or actually maybe a little bit earlier. But yeah, it's showing 71% of trafficking victims around the world are women and girls. 29% are men and boys. Modern slavery occurs in every region of the world. No place is exempt from it. Mm-hmm. Domestically speaking, we have previously seen it as a global problem that isn't so much prevalent. However, now it's in every single state. And between 2012 and 2017, 89 million people experienced some form of modern slavery. And around the world, there are an estimated 40.3 million victims trapped currently in modern day slavery.
Over the last 15 years, the number of known victims has increased for both females and males, but the number of known males and boys and girls has increased more than women. So the profile of victims has changed. The share of adult women falling from more than 70% to less than 50% in 2018.
Yeah, it's the fastest growing criminal industry in the world.
There are some court cases and literature that suggest that some trafficking operations are organized as recruiting agencies typically used by potential migrants seeking work abroad. In these instances, workers are often deceived over the fees taken from their wages to allegedly cover the job search, official documents, transport, housing, and other services. Some agencies are reported to have charged up to 11 months' salary.
Oh, jeez.
If you watch ASMR, you probably know Maria from the channel Gentle Whispering. Her story about coming to the U.S. is similar to this, which is, honest to God, horrifying. I feel awful that she was put in a situation where she was unfamiliar with her surroundings. She didn't know the language.
Yeah, she was a linguistics student who was
studying.
Yeah, and she was flown here to begin work, but once she lands, there's no one to pick her up. And she gets coerced into working as a maid. She was hardly paid for it. She didn't get the wages she deserved. And then the alternative was she could either be a maid or a stripper. That's what she was told.
The fact that that was her first impression of us.
It's disgusting.
I fucking hate it. That makes me so sick to my stomach that a young woman, and it's
she was 18.
18 is so young. She didn't know anybody. I don't remember. In the video, she said that she was with her friend. Did she ever find her friend?
She did, yes.
Okay. It makes me so uncomfortable that she came here so excited to be here. Like, she really was. She even said, like, I was so excited to come here for new opportunities. And then...
That's what she gets handed.
That's what she gets? That's what we get? Come on. So all of the stats that I'm finding are government documents. I'll link them in the description. I know I said that earlier. I think it's really important for everybody listening to do their own research on this. I think it's really important to see for yourself what's really going on out there. I didn't realize the number of people that it was. I didn't think it was that many.
Or as profitable.
That too.
As it is. Amy kind of did a majority of the global statistics, and I kind of focused more on the domestic side of it. And so the statistics for human trafficking, the most prevalent states are California, Texas, Florida, Ohio, and New York. And then just for in our area, I looked, Nevada is 11th and Arizona is 16th. But if you look more closely at the cities, number 1 is terrifying. It's our national capital. Our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., is the most prevalent city for human trafficking to take place, for you to be entered into it. Following that is Atlanta, Georgia. I think Atlanta because of the airport, honestly. You know, because the international airport, it's a huge one. So that's kind of my reasoning or my mentality. Following that, Orlando, Florida, Miami, Florida, and then Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, it's all right there. And the thing is, in 2016, the U.S. Department estimated that 57,700 people were trafficked into the country. Isn't that even more terrifying? Not only are we exporting our own people, we're importing other people.
And I know that some of these people are children.
Yeah.
I know that some of them are children.
The most common age is, I show for U.S. most common age is 13.
Oh my God.
Younger for boys. And the lifespan is typically about 10 years. You're in human trafficking for 10 years before either you get out or you die. And
well, yeah, because they're young, so they probably have to try to figure out how to live first.
Yeah,
to get out.
And something that really caught me off guard was that 55% of survivors report that they attended school at some point during their exploitation. How was this not discovered?
That's another thing. I think it really, really needs to be said that if you see something that's fucking weird, like the other night.
So the other night, Amy and I had gone on a drive, and it was really late at night. We're adults, you know, we can do what we want, but we went on a drive at about midnight. Mm-hmm. And we're driving through Amy's neighborhood, and we see a boy on a bicycle with what we assumed was his father out on a Sunday night at midnight. And one of the indicators of human trafficking was out at late hours with an adult. And it wasn't even until we read that we're like,
shit,
what if that was, that person? Mm-hmm.
And it was weird to us, though, too. Even that night, we're like, why the fuck are you out with your kid at 11:30 at night?
Yeah.
We both said it out loud.
Yeah, because it was so weird.
Fuck? We're like, it's a school night.
Yeah.
You have school tomorrow. Why the fuck are you up?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that maybe there was a good reason. At least I hope there was.
Yeah.
Because
all we can do is hope. But yeah, indicators community-wide, minor with someone during school hours or late at night. I mean, I wasn't up at midnight when I was 8 years old.
Me either. Dude, I had a bedtime at 8 o'clock. The fuck?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Touching on that topic, if you guys do see something, I want to give you a number. Like I said, I'm going to link all of this really important shit in the description box. Take a look at it. I always try to push you guys towards looking at the description. But if you see something weird, you can text the word HELP to 233-733. And again, that's the word help to the number 233-733. And also you can call the U.S. National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888. Call that number, text that number if you see something fucking weird. You could save somebody's life.
And it's really unfortunate because people they see something weird and they don't report it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a statistic here. 44% of victims reported no one reached out or offered them help out of the life, with another 26% reported rarely ever being offered help. You know, that it's something we really need to look out for. I know these days I see a lot of videos out there that are really great, where you see a man having his arm on a younger girl and she'll knock a cell phone out of a person's hand that's walking by, and you know, it's just deemed as, oh, you know, they're, you know, 16 being a brat. No, that's their way of saying help. And so, you know, you grab onto the person, you have 911 dialed. You know, I've seen a lot of those videos, or also a lot of videos of people teaching you how to get out of restraints.
Yeah.
And
I've
I think
those.
that needs to, like, be such a bigger...
You know, if... like, this is a whole other thing, but the education system needs to step it the fuck up, because you need tools for actual living situations, and this is an actual situation.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, you know, if I was given the choice to take, like, a self-defense class for free at school, I would have taken it.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been like, fuck yeah. Let me learn how to fuck some people up.
Yeah, it's like, do I need trigonometry? No, but I need this.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't know, man. This one really hit me because there's literal children, little young people that are getting stolen, kidnapped, taken advantage of. And I'm going to say this, and April doesn't know I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it, and she may not like it. But if y'all can't get your dick wet from somebody that's an adult who's consenting, stop it. Like, this shit gets me fucking heated. It's really weird to me that there's people out there that pay for sex.
Yeah, it is. It's really fucking weird. I've been offered to be paid for having, and I'm like, fuck you, leave me alone.
And that comes another thing with the whole, like, support your sex worker thing. If you're in it and you're consenting to it, that's one thing, whatever. But if you're being forced into this lifestyle because somebody promised you money or whatever, get the fuck out. There's tools that you can use to get out of the situation. Try to use those if you can. But I know some people can't. I know some people are literally slaves to this. There's people that are being held against their will to do these things. And the fact that there's kids that are being held to do this nasty ass shit for these nasty ass motherfuckers, man. If I'm at a loss because this one is heavy.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to talk about it. I really didn't. But
it needs to be talked about.
Yeah, it has to be, because it's not a big enough topic of discussion.
Yeah. And I mean, I've had my own fears with it, having a nephew, 5 years old, and people are taking pictures of him, and it's creepy, and it's like, what are those pictures being used for? You know,
dude,
is someone...
I would go up to that motherfucker and be like, give me your phone, bitch, right now.
Yeah.
You will not have pictures of my nephew. Fuck you.
Yeah, and it's like, what, is there a van waiting outside to try to take him, you know? And Arrowhead Mall in Phoenix is the most prominent place for human trafficking in Arizona, from what I've been told. They say, you know, hotels are the most prominent place where it'll happen, but from what's been reported, for us here in Arizona, it's Arrowhead Mall. I've taken my nephew to Arrowhead Mall, and I've been terrified knowing that. And, you know, I mean, I want to take my nephew there because they have the Build-A-Bear factory, or, you know, Santa Claus is at the mall, you know. I don't want to have my nephew miss out on these things, but I'm watching him like a hawk. He is not walking by himself. He may be screaming because he doesn't want to have to hold Auntie's hand, but I don't give a fuck. I'd rather have him here than not.
Yeah. Going off of that Arrowhead story, I was on Facebook one day and somebody shared a story of a man sitting across from, I think it's Zoomies or whatever, one of those shoe places where all the young kids go to get their fucking shoes. And he's sitting there taking pictures of all the boys that come out.
Fuck that.
And this mom lost her shit on this man.
Good on her.
I was like, girl, you get him. You get that nasty perv. And she was like, your security better get this man. And I was like, good for you. There needs to be more people like that. When you see weird things, somebody taking a picture of somebody else's kid, say something.
Yeah.
Tell the parent, be like, hey, I saw that guy right there taking a picture of your kid. You better watch your kid.
Yeah.
Like, I think we all need to start looking out for one another that way, because I think that might actually help. If we all could watch out for one another's children. And again, I know what it's like to be an adult and be someplace where kids are running around, they're pissing you off. It's not your kid, not your problem. But if I saw somebody snatch somebody else's kid, she's a runner, she's a track star, bro, I would be after his ass.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't let that happen. But I know some people, they just don't care.
Which is really unfortunate. Like, I'd rather be that creepy person to come up and be like, hey, just to let you know, like, there's someone, I mean, it may look like I'm the creep saying, I've been also watching your kid and seeing this other person watch your kid. But, at the end of the day, people need that. They need to be made aware if they aren't.
I think we're actually very good at picking up on one another's vibes. Because if a woman came up to me and said, hey, I just saw this man take a picture of your daughter, you better just, like, keep an extra eye on her. I would hear in her tone how dead-ass serious she was and be like, let's go. We're going home now. Yeah. I wouldn't even give it a second thought. Because I feel like, yes, there are some women that use that against other women. There's some women that prey on being nice to women.
Yeah, they're in the industry too. But, if someone's telling you to watch out for your child, like, yeah, I think they have your best interest at heart.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. It's a really heavy topic, but it needed to be talked about. It's not like these people that are getting kidnapped are asking for this. A lot of them are going about their normal ass day, going to Target, buying their groceries, minding their own fucking business. And they just get snatched. I mean, you see all those horror stories on TikTok. They're there for a reason. So anyway, just everybody stay vigilant. Keep your eyes open. If you see anything weird, it's better to text or call and get it out there than not say anything at all.
So my little 2 cents. Yeah. So I used to think it was like so fucked up to have your kid wear those backpacks with the leash.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, like now actually having children in my life, I'm like, that is probably the best invention ever. They're never going to get too far away from you. I tried to get one for my nephew before we went to the fair just so, I didn't have to hold him the entire time. But it's like, that way he'll never stray.
Shit, I will put a fucking leash on my kid. I don't give a shit. I will make one if I have to make sure my child is protected.
You got dog collars.
Listen, I'll get a dog harness and strap it to their back and so I don't choke them.
Yeah. Knowing that they're there, maintaining visual and everything.
That's just keep an eye on your nieces, nephews, kids, grandkids. Just keep an eye out for them. Granted, children aren't. It's not the highest number of people. It's usually women that are like the ones who are stolen the most. But women can mean with the global statistics, it didn't break it down for me. Like, it said, yeah, there's women, but how old were the women? Were they 18 and, above, or were they younger than that? Yeah. It didn't actually break down the age range.
And then for it to say the most common age is 13, it's, not just, not just adolescents, it's also children, like toddlers even.
God, that makes me sick to my stomach.
Doesn't it? It's awful.
Guys, like I said, if you see it, report it. I know it's weird. I know it's uncomfortable. I know I have anxiety doing those things, but somebody's life is more important than my anxiety.
just, think you are saving a life.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around for this heavy one. I'm going to put all the sources that I use, and I'll have April send me some of the ones that she used, so that way you guys can kind of do your own research. I'm going to put the number you can text and call if you spot or suspect human trafficking. Also, thank you for everyone that keeps coming back and listening to us. We really appreciate you. Please don't forget to check out our link tree, also in the description box. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.